our restaurant's bill. Nobody knew it was me. And I sat there and ate. I paid off layaways at stores like Target for all of the toys and all of the kids who had their stuff on Christmas for Christmas. And I don't say this to brag. I say it because I realized I started getting my happiness back. And it didn't come, it wasn't about how much, it was about how many people could feel better because I lived. And I noticed that I changed my category of how rich I was. I never quantified my riches now in money. I quantify it in the number of people whose life I made a little bit better. And so I want to sit here and let you know that this is a very super rich guy presenting to you today. And if you took Jeff Bezos and you took HP and you took our wealth and equated mine by happiness and excitement and fulfillment, and you took his money, we're probably about the same, if you know what I'm talking about. But enough about me, but that's what I was practicing. I was doing something called Ibüümerang and didn't even know it. The boomerang basically is this, a principle of you give out goodwill, and guess what happens? It comes back to you. And so I can tell you right now, if today ended for me, I believe I have a very fulfilled life. I believe that there's no regrets that I have. And so what I want to do is I want to share with you a concept, a business that I actually started a little over 19 months ago, but I based it on that same exact principle. I'm going to share with you a concept of how to give. I'm going to share with you a concept where selling and high pressure selling is not required whatsoever. If you're good at sales, guess what? You'll love this business. If you stink at sales, guess what? You'll love this business. But what I want to do right now is shut up about talking about it and let's be about it. Let's get right into it. The company, Ibüümerang. I want to give you a disclaimer. I'm going to talk about money. Now, a little different than when I used to talk about it at my household. We always talked about the lack of it. Today, I'm going to talk about the abundance of it. And I'm going to talk about how you can get more of it. And so I want to let you know that I can't guarantee you an income whatsoever. As much as I would love to, I can't. This is an opportunity. It's about entrepreneurship. We have people in over 192 foreign countries around the world who are participating. And for us to give a guarantee that they can make a certain amount of income, we just couldn't do it. Your income is going to be based on your ability to go out and produce. Make sure that you build a team, become coachable, teachable, trainable, whatever it is. You set your goal, we'll give you the plan. What I can tell you is that no matter what goal you set, I can point to a number of people who've been able to accomplish it. Okay. Now, here's what I want you to do if you're here for the very first time. I want you to do something a little bit different. I'm not the sales guy. I'm not going to pressure. I don't believe in pressuring or selling people to live better. If I've got to pressure you or convince you that you should do something to improve the quality of your life and people around you, you're already the wrong person. But the fact that somebody brought you onto this call means that you are the right person. Here's what I want you to do. I want you listening with two sets of ears. Two sets before I get into it. Number one, I want you listening as a consumer. I want you thinking, does the stuff that he's talking about, does it apply to my life? And number two, does the stuff that he's talking about, does it apply to everyone's life around me? And do I believe I can earn money with it? And why do I want you thinking that way? Because I'll be honest with you. At the end of this presentation, I'm going to ask you for a decision. Not for me, not for the person who invited you, but for you. Why is that? I read the other day something that was so important and it impacted me. A lady was explaining that normally when something comes to impact your life, whether it's financial, whether it's health, whether it's relationship, a great idea, a great concept, she said, normally what happens is you've got about 5 seconds to act, to start the process of acting in that direction until your own personal mind and brain starts the process of self-sabotage. Why? Your brain is designed to protect you, to make sure you are comfortable. And guess what? Many of you right now, the way you live, whether it's good or bad, you're comfortable living that way. And so when some random guy like me shows up on a video screen and I may be speaking a language that you don't even understand, talks to you about improving your life, your brain is going to put you in protection mode. protecting you so that you can stay the same. All right. And I'm going to ask you to challenge yourself and make a decision immediately when I finish here. And here's what I will guarantee you. I'll guarantee you this. I'll guarantee you that you making a decision, you'll be much better off. Whether that decision is yes or no, it doesn't matter to me. Make a decision very quickly and let's get to moving on. And those of you who are going to join us, which hundreds are going to join us today, I want to let you know I'm going to lead the charge and show you and provide a system that's going to walk you step by step so that you can go out there and start the process of achieving your dreams. All right, let's get back to this presentation here. The world right now is changing. If you take a look at it today, by 2027, it says 86.5 million people will actually work whenever they want and wherever they want. This is a shift from traditional jobs to independent work, which is very important. And there's a lot of different things that actually are bringing on that change. Let's go to the next slide here. When we talk about that change comes from yesterday to today. When we look at yesterday, you know what? People had one job. When you can think about it, maybe you're young enough that you remember your grandfather or great-grandfather. And maybe you were experienced enough, or maybe it was your parents who had one job and they could do it for 40 years and that pension plan took care of them. You know what? It doesn't work like that today. You know, today, 84% of all independent workers are living the preferred lifestyle in comparison to 54% of the people who are working the traditional jobs. You know, most people have upgraded everything in their life, including their technology, the way they communicate, the way you even do transportation and the way you do business. But you know what the majority of the people still do? They still earn money the old-fashioned way. They trade time for money. I'm going to share with you how a guy like myself who wanted to be an engineer, and I did, I went to school. And I went to college because my mom told me, son, go to school, get a good education so you can get a good job. And I thought that I would have been better off. Here's what I realized. What I realized is that they were teaching me how to trade my time for money. The only difference was because I would have had a degree, my time would have been worth a little bit more. And then I met a gentleman who had no college degree, no high school diploma. And he says, hey, Holton, he shared with me because I wanted to know how to get rich. I'm just going to be honest with you. Maybe that's not your goal. But my goal a long time ago is I wanted to be the first rich person in my family. He said, listen, let me share something with you. He says, there's a couple of problems with it. He says, you've been taught to operate on the wrong side of the money. I'm like, well, what do you mean? So I took out a dollar bill and I flipped it over. And he says, no, that's not what I'm talking about. He says, you are actually you're a consumer. He says, you got to be a provider. You've got to get on the business side of money, and I'll show you how to do that. He says, I said, well, how to do it? He says, you've got to start a business, start from home. So I'm going to show you how to get on the other side of money. Now, in today's world, when you take a look at it, customers are completely different. We're more educated. They are more advanced. They have different expectations. Why? They want ongoing value right now. Take a look at it. Have you seen Amazon? They've got what? Amazon Prime. Have you seen Prime Day, right? They've got Amazon Prime Day. Why? Because Amazon knows that I've got to create something unique for my customer base. Why? Because there's a company out there called Walmart. There's a company out there called Target. There's a company out there called Alibaba who created what's called Singles Day and did $54 billion in sales in one day. Why? Because they provided a unique experience and they personalized it for mostly women. $54 billion. And when you take a look at it today, your expectations have changed as well. You want time freedom. You want residual income. You want the ability to give back. And what I'm going to share with you is how to do it through two different worlds that we have in terms of what the old side and being on the other side of money, and then the new world being on the opposite side of money. The old world in business, specifically in our model of business, was sell, sell, sell. Going out trying to convince people to do something that may have even been good for them. But the only reason they didn't do it, it was because of you. Because they didn't trust that you had business experience. And so your sales efforts actually fell flat and you ended up with maybe a 5% success rate. We're going to get rid of that. Those 10 to 12 hour work days, that's old world. Working in one industry, having one income stream, owning nothing and retiring with very little income. That's what my mom was teaching me to do. And it was because she never knew any better. Until I met my mentor, says, Holton, there's a whole new world out there. I'm going to introduce you to a world without selling, access to 192 countries, technology that can work for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, get paid when your customer saves money. Did you hear that? When your customer saves, not when they spend money with you, they save money. Earn multiple streams of income from just one business, because most people have been told multiple streams of income is important. And some people think, well, I've got to do 5 of these things. Or maybe if I have one side business and another side business and another side business, now what you're doing is you're not going to be great at any of them. So what my mentor told me, he says, HB, listen, why don't you figure out a way to take multiple different businesses and bring them through one system so people can profit from any industry that they choose. And that's what we're going to talk about here. That's called Ibüümerang. And now, yesterday was a whole different world, was you got paid when you sold things. Selling value, which is good. Now, here's one thing he taught me. He says the only way to make money in America and around the world, specifically in America where I was, he said, you've got to offer value. If you offer value, people will exchange their money for value. Today's world, I'm going to share with you how to give value instead of sell value. I'm going to show you how to provide something that each and every one of you will actually look me in the eye on this camera and you'll say, this makes sense. It just simply makes sense. And you'll understand the value and you'll understand why we've got people all over the world who are joining our business every single day. Let's talk a little bit about my background, a little bit about leadership. Normally, I don't like to get to this part of the presentation because I don't like talking about me. This presentation is designed for our people to use as presentations themselves. In 1990 is actually when I got started. I was a freshman in college. I went to a meeting and I was amazed. And I saw people who had retired from corporate backgrounds, and I decided at that moment, I want to do this because my mom had never told me that it was possible to retire before you're 65. She bought into the same philosophy. That retirement age is 65. And it's not, you can't find anywhere in the world where it says retirement age is 65. 65 is just the age, now 67, whereas you can collect Social Security benefits, which average about $800 per month. Now you tell me, can you retire on that? So stop listening to the old world, get on the other side of money. So from 1990 to 1997, I made less than $500 a month, but I got millions of dollars worth of knowledge and wisdom, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. In 1997, nearly around 2000, I met a gentleman, and that was a gentleman who introduced me to a system. He's the guy who told me, Holton, you're doing it all wrong. This guy was 32 years old, retired when he was 24, didn't have a high school diploma, didn't have a college degree, had a speech impediment, talked real fast, and had a horrible accent, but he was rich. And I listened to him. And when I joined him, he taught me his system. And ladies and gentlemen, I actually took that system that he taught me of how to work and communicate with people effectively. And here's what happened. I was able to retire at the age of 26. At the age of 28, I became a millionaire. At the age of 30, I became a multimillionaire. And since then, I've now helped over 50 plus people. Now, this is old, earn over $1 million. And I say that not in a bragging sense. I say that because I want to qualify this. Because most of us, what we normally expect is we expect somebody coming up in a suit in a nice fancy office talking about success. I'm right here in my living room. I've got a t-shirt on right now, and to be candid with you, I still have my pajama bottoms on, giving a presentation right now as the CEO of Ibüümerang. How much more simple can it be? That means that you can do the exact same thing. I started this company right from the comforts of my own home, and guess what? To this day, we still don't have any buildings. But what we've done in our first 19 months, we're approaching over $70 million in sales. 70 million from a company that started right from its home, right from this living room, right here. The very first presentation that I gave was right here. Actually, it was right over there at my bar. So that lets you know that you can do the exact same thing. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the concept of what I've been able to do. What I wanted to do is I wanted to create a concept, and I assembled a team of people to make the future of business much easier. Didn't know how to do it, and I thought about what were the pitfalls, what were the things that actually hampered me, what were the things that I didn't like. And I put all of those things together that I couldn't do or that I shouldn't do, and I said, this is old technology. And I thought about how could I replace those things with something that works 100% of the time, something that's consistent, and something that could provide a real source of residual income. And I created what was called the PRIB. Here is what I want you to focus on. This PRIB, you see it's trademarked. There's never been another one out there. It actually stands for Perpetual Residual Income Builder, or for you, for this presentation, let's call it Permanent Retirement Income Builder. For those of you who are out there right now listening for the first time, if you could cut your retirement date in half, give me a 5 in the chat right now. If you would like to cut your retirement date in half, just put 5s, just 5s, okay? Because I want to know, does this appeal to you? And maybe you've got another 10 years before you retire. And what if you can do it in 5? Maybe you've got 20 years to retire. But what if you can do it in 3? Do you know we've got people who are part of this business in the last 20 months who no longer work? 20 months, completely retired. But remember, I can't guarantee you a time frame. I'm just going to share with you a simple method that works if you work it. So we've got a lot of 5s out there, which means a lot of people are sick and tired of being sick and tired, just like I was. Let's talk about this PRIB and what this PRIB actually does. This PRIB actually does things, and it goes to work for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This, if people ask me, Holton, what's your product? It's the PRIB. This is what I talk to people about. And I asked a young lady the other day, she was asking, what is it that you do? And I said, well, have you ever heard of a PRIB? She says, well, what is that? I said, it's a permanent retirement income builder. She says, what's that? I said, it's new technology that's been designed to help people like you and me to retire in half the time it normally takes. She says, well, how do I access the PRIB? I simply gave her a link to the PRIB. It did a presentation for her. And I don't know whether she has joined or became a customer or not. I just knew that the PRIB was doing what it's supposed to do. It's the easiest conversation piece in the world. I don't talk about all of these products like I did before. Why? It's the wrong thing to do because everybody's not good at it. So what would the PRIB do for your customers? Number one, it's going to follow up with your customers. We've got technology that the PRIB will do a lot of the selling, the upselling, the cross-selling to your customers. What will it do if you decide to build a team? Okay. Now, I see J2 here's a first timer. Here's what will happen, J2. If this is your first time, your team, it will do welcome orientations for you. What does that mean? You know, we've got a step-by-step process in terms of what a person needs to do if they want to build. As soon as they enroll, do you know our PRIB is going to go out and train them on an interactive presentation for the first 10 days. It's going to do the work. Why? Because it's something that you're probably not good at. Maybe you got in one day before them. You're not an expert, but the PRIB is. It will do trainings. It will do upgrades. It will actually promote for events for you. It will actually help with your retention. Here's the thing I love. Our PRIB is still a work in progress. What do I mean? There's so many things that we're looking to do with the PRIB. But what have we done with this PRIB? You're probably saying, well, where's the money come from? Well, what's in this PRIB? And you don't even know all of that stuff. Let's talk about what's in the PRIB. I want you to imagine that your PRIB was a shopping mall or a grocery store or a business enterprise. And what we've done is surrounded the PRIB with all of this technology to make it real easy. And we've housed so far 4 different companies, 4 different businesses that we actually own. And we put them in the PRIB for you. Now, here's where I want you to put on your consumer hat for a second, and then we'll talk about the business hat next. Now, we've actually put in there, you'll notice we have iGo. We put something in there, a company called Zents, a company called Vibe Rides, and a company called Build Genius, and more to come. I'll explain what each one of these, what they actually stand for and how they actually operate before we end this presentation. Here's what I want you to know. Don't end this presentation before I finish. I decided today to come on with a bonus for many of you and just give you a bonus tip that my mentor shared with me about how to get on the other side of money, and you don't want to miss that. Now, you're probably wondering, is this Prib real? Does it really work? I don't know. We've only gotten 1 million people to become involved with the Prib in the first 18 months. So you tell me whether that's success or not. 1 million customers have said, hey, I want the benefits of that Prib. I want in that environment. I want to be a part of what's in this Ibüümerang Prib. And every single day, thousands upon thousands of customers around the world are flocking to our Prib. It's almost like an Amazon.com style concept, but you get to be on the other side of the money. That's the only difference here. Let's talk about the first product in the Prib. It's called iGo. The iGo platform is a travel platform. You say, well, why travel? Here's why. It's one of the largest industries in the world. Trillions of dollars of travel, even still to this day, that's happening, even during a pandemic. We're watching the numbers of people who are traveling on our platform, and it's incredible. Here's what we do, and here's why we attract people so often. What we do is we, as a member, we offer customers a free lifetime membership to a travel membership discount program, whereas they can save up to 35% on all of the travel that they do. Never have to buy anything, never have to pay a membership fee. I'll never charge you $1 for a customer being in this Prib. You have exclusive access to the lowest prices, huge savings on many of the travel things that we have in there. Let's talk about some of these travel things that we have, and I'll show a couple of them in terms of how it works. What we offer in this is behind the curtain pricing. This is a real simple example of a hotel room that was on Expedia for $339 a night. And then we had it on our iGo platform, which is our travel website, $178. Guess what? The customer saved money. And that's per night. That's $100+ savings each and every night that they stayed. Same room, same hotel, same date. The only difference was they had a behind the curtain membership price. See, the travel industry only allows the rock bottom price if you have a membership. They are not allowed to give the public membership-based pricing. We give the membership away for free. It's the first entry into the Prib, and then the Prib goes to work. Take a look at my receipt over here at the end. You know what? You've seen those commercials that say, hey, listen, I'm not only a founder, I'm a customer too. I'm not only the owner and founder of Ibüümerang, I'm a customer as well. This was my 4th trip using this technology, and this was right when we first got started. I took a trip to Mexico, and my trip, I saved $1,589. My reservation total became $1,348. I received 1,687 reward credits and almost $1,600 in savings. Here's the thing. I was going to be there anyway. So I might as well booked it on my iGo platform, and those savings just continue to come in over and over and over and over again. I want to give you another example here, but before I give you an example, you know what? I'll go ahead and give you this example, and then I'll introduce a couple of people who've actually benefited from it. The iGo Travel Savings Bonus. This is how it works. Here's now where I want you to put your business hat on. Number one, can you benefit from this as a customer? Number one, it won't cost you or anybody that you introduce 1 penny. They'll never have to take out a credit card, give you money, or anything. It's absolutely free, no strings attached. So can you give that value to someone? Well, if you are a member and you give that away for free, here's what can happen for you. Here's a very simple example. On the left, you'll see an ambassador platform. It's the same website, but you now have even deeper discount as an ambassador. You'll save up to 40%. You'll save up to 70%. In this example, this is a 40% savings. What if your customer went out and booked that same room in Cancun like this one here? Your customer got 20% discount, which means half the savings. That's where we get the money from to pay money to you. People ask, this sounds too good to be true. Where's the money come from? My customer didn't pay anything. Well, we didn't give them 100% of the available savings. They were happy in this example saving $212. But if you would have booked it, it would have been $424. Your customer booked it. This is how simple it is. It's 3 steps for your customer. Your customer activates Ibüümerang, and we'll share with you how to do it. Number 2, your customer books their travel, and they save, in this example, $212. Number 3, you earn 50% of the $212, which means I send you a check for $106. What did you sell? Nothing. What did you give? You gave a friend, a family member. How many people do you know of right now who are sitting at home, pulling out their hair saying, I can't wait until COVID or this whatever is over? The first thing that they want to do is travel. I challenge you right now to try to book a cruise for 2021. Try to book a resort for, they're so full because people's anticipation of traveling. I'm telling you, there's a huge ramp up, and all of those savings, you can do them a favor by giving them savings, and you can also earn some money by just simply giving away this technology. I want to share with you a couple of people who benefited from our travel platform. Just watch these videos here. This is how simple it is, and here's some real people giving you real testimonials.
This is Salida and Daniel Camaro here from Atlanta, Georgia. We wanted to share with you our testimony with one of the searches we found.
Absolutely. We were going to Fort Lauderdale looking for a condo, beachfront, and through Airbnb, it was over $5,700 1 week in Fort Lauderdale. Through our Arigo platform, we found the same property, same week for less than $2,700. It was almost $3,000 worth of savings.
Baby, I'm super stoked. I just booked a 3-day, 2-night stay at a 5-star hotel for Inauguration Day 2021. I don't know if you know, but the prices are outrageous. And not only was I able to save $274.52, but I got 604 rewards credits as well because I went on my wholesale iGo booking platform. Boom.
Now, just think about it. You're going to travel. You're going to go somewhere. You're going to rent a car. You're going to book a hotel. You're going to book you're going to book a flight. How many of you have ever used Airbnb? Well, you use it, but you're on the wrong side of money. You heard Daniel and Talita use the same, our platform, which has the same inventory as Airbnb and VRBO and Home Away from Home. And the only difference is they get the cheapest price. And if the customer uses it, they actually get paid. Now, we'll come back to travel a little bit later. I want to tell you about something else that's pretty incredible. Now, they say that we only have 5 senses. Well, guess what? Ibüümerang has actually created a 6th sense. I'll talk to you about that in a moment. You know, they said that smell is the strongest of the 5 senses. It's the strongest. We have the ability to smell something, and you can remember your high school prom. You can actually be at a restaurant and smell something and remember great grandma's, cooking. You can smell something and remember when your little baby, your grown adult child now, when they were 2 years old. It's the strongest scent of all. It's responsible for a lot of different attitudes and moods that we actually put ourselves in. What we've done is we actually founded a technology that actually is patent pending. And we created something that's one of the world's first wearable, touchless technologies, and we call it Zents. It's a revolutionary technology that actually allows you to alter your personal mood. In a world today of diffusers and essential oils, and if I showed you my house, I had all of these different things around here that promote a great quality smell. Here's the only thing. Sometimes you may be in a room and maybe your spouse likes peppermint and maybe you can't stand peppermint. And guess what? You got to fight about which smell is going to be there. Maybe you've been somewhere and you've got to spray aerosol or whatever it is, or not an aerosol, but some kind of spray. And maybe it's not so pleasant to the person next to you. Or maybe you've actually been on a plane or been in a restaurant, you had a mask on. Or maybe you're one of our first responders, those who are on the front line, and you wear a mask all day long. And sorry to say, there's a such thing as called mask breath. Well, what we've done is we actually developed something that really has solved this issue. We solved it to the point that our manufacturers can't even keep up with production. We created a new concept called Zents. It's your own personable wearable technology. You actually put it right there in your septum. It's invisible for 95% of the people, but you get to control your own mood. We've got Purify, which is a lemon. It actually promotes focus. It promotes great enthusiasm. It also is good for motion sickness or nausea. If you're pregnant and have nausea, it was developed for that purpose. And then we've developed so many other ones. We've got Energize, which is my favorite. I work out with my Energize. Every time I work out, I'm noticing that I get less tired and I have more energy throughout. And then we have Relax. How many people do you know out there who's actually having trouble going to sleep at night? We've got this right here. You pop it in, don't do anything, and all you do is breathe. And what we realize is that people are going to sleep and having a deeper sleep. It'll last up to 12 hours. It's waterproof. Many are saying it even lasts longer than that. Here's what we just teased everybody with, and I'll give you this tease as well. We're using this technology as a delivery system, and everybody wants it. Here's what we developed. We just developed an appetite control. It won't be available until the beginning of the year, maybe end of January or February, but it's a nice grapefruit smelling appetite control. How would you like to just pop a Zents in, breathe, take an inhale, and lose weight? Now, I know I'm making it sound so easy, and I don't want to promise, you're going to drop 100 pounds, but I can tell you this, you can simply pop it in. And because of the technology that we have, it simply controls appetite. It's absolutely amazing. Many other technologies are actually going to be coming, and functions are going to be coming with this technology. And I'm so excited to be presenting this because this is in the Prib. Let me give you an example of how the Prib will work. What we'll do is this here. We'll take your customers who've entered the Prib, all right? We know that they're traveling, and we know that everybody must wear a mask. We'll take these customers and we'll select them, and we'll say, okay, well, these customers here, and we'll just take a short cross-section and say customers that are actually traveling 4 hours or longer. And what we'll do, and what we're ramping up our technology to do, is send them a free sample of Zents. We know when they're traveling. We know how long they're traveling. We send them a free sample of it. They enjoy it while they're on the plane. Guess what they're going to want more of? They're going to want more of Zents. Guess who they have to buy it through? They have to buy it through the website. Well, guess which code they have? Your code. Who gets the profit? You. That is how the Prib is at work and how the Prib will go to work for you. Let's go ahead and share with a couple people who've actually experienced Zents, and I want you to hear from them what their experience has been using this new technology.
Hello, Mick Brown here.
Hi, Darlene Garcia.
And we're here to talk to you about Zents, Energize. Oh my gosh, I love that fragrance. In the gym, I'm buzzing like crazy, lifting heavy weights. I've got so much energy. It's like a pre-workout for me.
For me, I use it to power through my workday, and I didn't even need an ounce of caffeine. We're energized.
And we love it.
Yeah. You know, I can tell you, Mick and Darlene have actually done incredibly well with this technology and this product. I believe they've even started receiving some of their orders as well. In the first 2 weeks, we had over 92 countries around the world place orders for this technology. Why? Because the formula that we have and how we do it, you can only get it here in Ibüümerang, and you can only get it through our Prib. That's what your customers will have access to. I want to go to another thing. I want to talk to you about something that I was really excited about and something that really intrigued me. I remember when Uber and Lyft became companies, and I saw this foreign technology concept that really wowed me. And I said, this is so cool. And I thought it was so cool that I said, it makes sense. Why don't I start our own and put it in the Prib? And ladies and gentlemen, we have a company called Vibe Rides. And what we've done with Vibe Rides is we introduced a concept called drive share. Most people call it ride share. What's the difference? With drive share, you simply give away a code. You can get them into the crib, and now they have access to it. You give them a code, they download our app, same type of cars, same type of destination, similar as what they've already used, but the only difference is anytime one of your customers take a ride, you get paid. You don't have to be there. You don't even have to know about it. You just receive the income. How many people have you introduced rideshare to? We operate currently right now in Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Tampa, Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, soon expanding to Atlanta, Georgia, Phoenix, Arizona. And in 2021, my promise is that we will go to at least 2 to 4 new countries outside of the US while expanding in the United States as well. Not only can you earn money by customers, you can actually refer drivers. And when somebody drives, they pick up a passenger and take a passenger, or pick up a package and deliver a package with our mobility solutions that's coming, you get paid. I want you to imagine the number of transactions that will take place over years, and you actually get paid from it. Instead of me talking about it, let's just go ahead and hear from a couple people who've experienced the benefit of Vibe Rides.
Hey, Vibe Rides family, Tyree King here out of Tampa, Florida. I'm a Vibe Rides ambassador, and I'm so honored to give this quick testimonial about my overdrive experience. Vibe Rides has allowed me to go out and build a fleet of drivers and riders and allow them to use the service, and I receive commissions off the transactions without even being involved. I love this concept. I love this company. It's a vibe.
Now, I have to give you guys something. That's my brother, okay? And here's the cool part. He was not a driver at all. He was never a driver, had never picked up a passenger. All he did was connect people to become drivers, connect customers to become riders. And I never forget when he called me up and he looked at his commissions and saw over 25 different transactions in which he got profit from. And he was like, bro, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And so I want to tell him thank you as well for this testimonial. I think we have another one in here that we'll play. Nope, we don't have another testimonial on there. Okay, well listen, I want to go to something that I want you to think about real quick, business and customer. Here's one of my favorites. Let's talk about this concept here. This concept that I want to share with you is a concept that every single person in America is dealing with. Americans every single year overpay their bills to the tune of $60 billion of overpayment. And 9 times out of 10, you are one of those people if you're right here in America, probably around the world as well. What we came up with is a concept that's, no pun intended, it's genius. It's a concept that will actually reduce your bills without switching services. No membership fee. Don't pay anything unless you save. What can you save money on? You can save money on your television, your internet, your phone, your power, your security system. You can save money on your storage units. You can save money on your gas bill. You can save money on so many different things. Lawn care, so many different ones. What we've done is we created a concept and partnered with some technology. I created a company called Build Genius, and it's in the crib as well. How does Build Genius work? It's very simple. A customer does this. They simply upload their bills. It takes 3 minutes or less. Build Genius does all the work for you. And if you don't save anything, you pay nothing. That means there's zero risk. However, if you actually save money, Build Genius will take whatever the savings is, and you will pay Build Genius 50% of whatever it is that they saved. That's how simple it is. In this example here, Christian from Texas saved $999 on 3 bills. John from New York, $1,776 on 2 bills. Wendy from Maryland, $1,300 on 2 bills. But I have even more live testimonials of people who've actually been able to benefit from Build Genius. Let's roll it.
I have saved $2,700 on 3 bills. That's my cell phone bill, my DirecTV bill, and our internet bill. And I am thrilled. $2,700 over the next 2 years, and it literally took me 10 minutes to do. I want to even say it was less than 10 minutes, but let's go with 10 minutes. So for me, that equates to about $270 a minute.
Uploaded my bills, and very shortly in time, I ended up, I got to read this right, I saved $403. I negotiate my bills all the time. I didn't think they would save me a nickel. And $403 later, I'm a happy guy.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I get so excited about. No matter whether you live in America or whether you don't, everyone knows someone who lives here who's overpaying their bills. And see, that's also on being on the wrong side of money. Here's what we do with Bill Genius, and I'll share with you a very simple concept of how it works. I want you to imagine that you work or know someone who's worked in a cell phone store or maybe at Apple, and they sold you a phone. I just bought one. You know, the person who sold me this phone the other day, they got paid that day for this phone. And the person who set me up with my phone account over 18 years ago, they set me up 18 years ago. Do you know I paid the bill every month for 18 years? But the person who set me up get paid one time. Why? They're on the wrong side of the money. What if Verizon, who's my carrier, told that person, listen, for every customer that you set up, we'll make sure that we give you 10 cents a month every time they pay their bill, as long as they stay active and pay it. You know what? That person will probably be retired right now and maybe a millionaire. But the only reason that they don't is because they didn't understand being on the right side of money. How do you get on the right side of money in Bill Genius? Real simple. Okay? Here's what we've done. I want you to imagine this concept here. I call it the power of 10. I'm going to pay you every time a customer saves money, and every time they pay their bill, I'm going to send you a commission check for part of their savings from now to the rest of the end of time, for the rest of your life. The question for you is, how many customers can you get? Let's say in this example here that you used the power of 10. You went out and got 10 customers that cost them nothing, but you also built the business. And let's say you got 10 distributors to be along with you. And let's say in the first 4 months, took you 4 months for those 10 to get their 10. Now you've got 100 customers in 4 months. That's it. Some people have done that in the first 6 weeks. Let's say in the second 4 months, months 5 through month 8, we take those 100, and they go out and they get their 10. That means you've now got 1,000 customers and 100 distributors in your business. That's it. This is 8 months worth of work, and Bill Genius has only been around for about a month and a half, 2 months. And months 9 through 12, you take that 1,000 and they get the power of 10. That means 10,000 customers and 1,000 distributors or ambassadors in your organization. Ladies and gentlemen, if you take that and you take the average savings of just $100 a month, that's it, $100 a month, times that savings with no other income, no other Zents, no other Vibe rides, no travel whatsoever, that's a $5,977 monthly residual income that I'm sending to you every single month. My question for you is, how often do people pay their bills, and when are they going to stop? Now, my next question is, do you want to be on the wrong side of money, or do you want to get on the right side of money? It costs them nothing. It's absolutely free. You send it out, and Bill Genius does the work. So ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're talking about. Now, how do you do all of this? Now, you're probably wondering, how do you get all of this done? And my question for you is, do you boomerang? Well, the answer should be yes. What is it, and how do you actually boomerang? Here's what you do. It's as simple as sending out one simple code. You don't have to go out and talk to people about all of these businesses. You find the one that fits them the best. If you want to talk to somebody about their bills, you can do that. If you want to offer somebody free travel, you can do that. If you want to offer somebody discounts on Vibe rides and choosing their Vibe, you can do that, or even Zents. But once you give them that code, now the Prib goes to work and starts selling them on all the other stuff. What if your customers who are saving money starts to trust us because they see every month they save money? You know what the Prib is going to do? the Prib's going to contact them and let them know they can also save money on their travel. And now the Prib is actually cross-selling for you. You send the ambassador, you send the code, the customers go to the Prib, you receive the residual income, and your customers save money, you earn money. That's how simple it is. Well, how do you earn the money? There's 6 different ways to earn here, okay? 6 different ways to earn. Earn on your referral bonus. That means that anybody that you refer to the company who becomes an ambassador, when they actually purchase one of our packages that I'm going to share with you, you can earn a commission from that particular sale. You can earn direct customer bonuses, which means that when your customer travels, saves money, you get paid. They save money on Bill Genius, you get paid. They buy Zent, you get paid. They use Buy Brides, you get paid. And all of the other things and technology that we're going to bring in the future. Fast Start Accelerator bonuses, dual team bonuses, uni-level commissions. By the way, you know that illustration I gave you in Bill Genius? That's only utilizing income number 5. I didn't even include the volume from income number 6. This is why we say it's a permanent retirement income builder for you if you go out and work it. How do you get started with all of this? Real simple. It's $49 for you to position yourself with Ibüümerang. We call that a standby membership. Why do we call it standby? Because when we started this company, we only had travel. We didn't have Zents. We didn't have Bill Genius. We didn't have Buy Brides. We didn't have it all. We only had travel. So it's your kit, $49. You're in the business. You have a boomerang site. You get 5 boomerangs. You have 25% off of direct travel with that you get to have. You get 25% of referring commissions with our partner that we have, Extreme Travel. You can refer and do group trips if you wanted to. You get an interactive presentation that's a part of the Prib. Online business management that's a part of the Prib for $49. Now, you can stay there at standby, or you can actually choose your seat. And you can accelerate your income if you really wanted to. Here's how you do it. 3 different options that you have. Number 1, you've got what we call Coach Class. It's $250 for Coach Class. Here's what you're going to receive. You're going to receive access to the travel membership at the lowest discount that you'll have. You'll receive 50% of the bonus percentage. You'll receive 10 boomerangs. You'll receive hotels, flights, and rental cars only at this level. You get all the Prib technology, Buy Brides, you get the Bill Genius platform, and you get access to the Prib, as I mentioned, for $99 per month. That's what it costs you. Now just think about it. What if you want to start your own bill negotiating company? Do you think you'd spend more than $100 bucks? Do you think you'd spend more than $100 on that? Of course you would. If you were to start your own travel agency or travel website, if you developed new technology and wanted to get patents on your technology, do you think your lawyer fees would be more than $100? Of course they would. Most of you have subscriptions on your Apple phone in your house that cost more than this, and they make you no money. My mentor told me, he says, Holton, that one of the things that keep people not being rich is that they spend a lot of money on things that don't make them money, but that entertain them. He says, if you don't have a lot, make sure you channel your money to things that will help you multiply it versus just entertain you. $99 a month. Now, second one is what we call business class. It's $500 a month. Now remember, don't leave. I got a special for you. Not a special, a bonus that I'm going to give you, some bonus education, okay? $500 is what it costs for this one. Here you get the platform with hotels, flights, rental cars, and cruises. You receive more boomerangs, 150% more boomerangs that you'll receive. You get 100% of the discount, that's the bonus percentage that's available. We pay you now 12% in the dual team versus 10%. You get the Prib technology, Buy Brides, Bill Genius, all of that. And we didn't raise the monthly price like most companies would. We kept it at $99 per month. That's what's cool about it, all right? Think about it, $99 a month. And then ladies and gentlemen, you've got what most people aspire to in our number 1 package that's called First Class. Our First Class package gives you the iGo platform. It gives you the hotels, flights, rental cars, cruises, homes, weeks, marketplace, timeshare, lifestyle, timeshare. That means every part of travel that's available, you get access to it. You heard Daniel and Talita talking about using the homes. It was cheaper than using Airbnb, and I think they saved $2,000 or $3,000. It was worth it. Just that one trip that they booked was worth having First Class. You'll receive 500% more boomerangs than you would at Coach. you'll receive 100% of the percentage, 20% in your dual team commissions for your first 30 days. Crib technology, Vibe Rides, Build Genius, all of that, the mentoring, the coaching, and more. But ladies and gentlemen, here's what we've done. We've actually made it better in the month of November. I told you it's holiday season. You see that $1,000? We kept it at $99 a month, even after we've loaded all of those additional features on there. It's still $99 a month. Let's take a look at this. But we've gone even better. In November, we've slashed the price of $1,000, and it's $750 for the first class package until the end of the month. And ladies and gentlemen, I recommend you take advantage of that promotion. It ends at the end of this month here. It's a promotion that we've had going on, and many have taken advantage of it. Matter of fact, I can tell you, we've got a group of people all over the world, but one in particular over in the Czech Republic. There's a group of people over there that have made zero excuses whatsoever. When it comes to this package here, when it comes to Zents, they are rocking and rolling with this company. So hats off to them. There's plenty all around the world, but I wanted to give them a special shout out. They had a meeting earlier today with over 150 people going absolutely excited about the benefits of our program. And many of them have not even received their first order of Zents, and they just placed other orders for Zents because the demand, they receive samples, and the demand is going absolutely crazy. It's going absolutely crazy. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that's the program. Now, here's the thing I want to share with you. It's time to get started. Remember I told you, I want you to think from a customer, and I want you to think as a business owner. And I want you to make a decision to get started. Let me share with you the other thing. I told my mentor I wanted to be rich. He says, HB, he says, here's what happens. He says, one of the other reasons why most people aren't rich is because they don't know how to earn money. They don't know how to position themselves. I said, what do you mean? He said, you're on the wrong side of the tax law. Here's a little bonus I want to throw out to you. I want to give you something going into 2021 that is just the difference. I just want to assume, let's assume that your household income is $100,000 a year. Maybe that's yours alone, but maybe that's you and your spouse. I'm just using that as a number. It could be lower, it could be higher. Do you know if you work a 9 to 5 and you have a job only, what happens is the government is going to tax that income 100% because you're on the wrong side. Our tax laws were not written for people who consume jobs. It was written for people who provide opportunities. And so here's what happens. It's real simple. You get your check and there's an amount that says gross and then there's an amount that says net. The difference is the tax they've taken out. Have you really noticed that the net is really, really gross? Because you work so hard and you realize I've got to pay all of this money. In this example, you only take home $70,000. That means $30,000 that you paid in federal income taxes. You say, well, that's normal. That's what my mom did. That's what my dad did. But are they rich? Are they living the way you want to live? Are they on the right side of money? My parents weren't. I got on the right side of money. He said, HB, you got to start a business. Start it from home. Here's the example. Let's say you had a job plus Ibüümerang, same job. And let's say your combined income was $100,000 a year. That's it. Here's what happens. Here's now what changes. The government says, you know what? You started a home-based business. That means that you are going to stimulate our economy. You're going to provide opportunities for people. So we're going to give you benefits. You don't have to go out and buy buildings. You don't have to have a college degree. You don't have to have large capital outlay. You pay $750 for your first class package, and it begins. Let me give you a couple of examples. That $100,000. Here's what happens. The people on the left-hand side, they do the exact same thing as the people on the right. They just do it on the wrong side. So how many of you are going to take vacations in 2021? Probably so. The people on the right are not. We're going to go to the same place with our family members, but we're going to call it a business trip. As a matter of fact, I'm leaving to go on a business trip to Cancun with nearly 1,000 of our ambassadors. And nobody's going for vacation. It's a business trip. Let's just say in a year you invested $10,000 on business trips. Guess what? The government says you can write it off. Did you know that you can actually pay your kids? How many of you have kids under the age of 17? In this example, I put 2. The government allows you $12,200 per kid per year, and they pay no income tax on it. You say, well, my kids aren't qualified. Well, it's a home-based business, so you pay them to answer the home-based telephone, take out the home-based trash, turn off the home-based lights, vacuum the home-based carpet, and all the other things you do. The people on the wrong side of money give their kids allowances. The people on the right side hire their children and actually pay this money to them, put it in an account, and guess what? There's now money available for college that was completely tax-free, and it comes off of your bottom line. That's a $24,000 deduction. How many of you have a car and you use it? The government gives you 57 cents per mile, as long as you're driving with the intent to produce a profit. This is why every time I get in my car, I intend to make some money. Now, whether I make some or not, it doesn't matter. The government says as long as you're driving with the intent to increase the value of your business, we'll let you write off 57 cents a mile. Let's say you took 17,000 miles, almost 18,000 miles a year. That's $10,000 write-off. But the government also says it's a home-based business. You know, I'm doing this presentation in my living room. I have an office and I have places where I conduct business here. The government says that I can write off this percentage of square footage against the expenses of my house. Let's say it was 20%. And if you have a mortgage, you can write off 20% of your mortgage. You can write off 20% of your electricity bill, 20% of all the bills, because it's now a home-based business. You're going to do these things anyway. Let's say it came to $10,000. Here you earned 100, but the government says you can deduct all of those things. That what's that? $54,000 in expenses is what you got if you total it up, which means you only have $46,000 that you're going to get taxed on instead of 100. You pay that same 30%. You only paid $13,800 in federal income tax. Guess what happens? On the left-hand side, being on the wrong side of money, you overpaid your taxes by doing the same thing that you could have done by starting an Ibüümerang business today. Same lifestyle over here, but you pay $16,200 less than tax. Let me ask you a question. Would it be worth it to start $750, $100 a month, every month, knowing that you have the opportunity to pay $16,000 to? I haven't even covered other stuff. Things like, you know, if you go to sports and entertainment shows, do you know I can go to the Rockets game and invite people as long as I discuss business before or afterwards? I now can call that business entertainment and write off season tickets. Do you know I can take my dry cleaners when I come back from Cancun, and everything that I take to the dry cleaners immediately after I come back from Cancun is tax deductible? It's so many different things. My whole life now becomes a tax deduction. Why? Because someone who was rich, who was 32 years old, retired when they were 24 with no high school diploma, taught me, HB, get on the right side of money and get on the right side of the tax law. This is how you get rich. And ladies and gentlemen, that's my bonus to you. That's what I wanted to give to you during Christmas. And I want to give you another disclaimer. I've covered a whole lot of things. I'm not a tax attorney and I'm not a CPA whatsoever. But talk to your CPA about this. But more importantly, get yourself started in Ibüümerang today. Let us go to work for you. Let the Prib do for you what it's done for tens of thousands of our ambassadors all over the world. And I can't wait to see you on the beaches of the world, literally. Peace and health to you in 2020 and 2021. Bye, everybody.